You're not okay right now. Not the tired kind of not okay. The other kind. The kind where everything is just too much, and you don't even know which thing pushed you there, because it wasn't one thing. It was everything, all of it, stacking up until you ended up here. And here feels like the edge of something, like one more word, one more notification, one more person asking you for something you don't have the capacity to give. And that's it. That's the thing that breaks it. You haven't snapped yet. You're right there though, right on the line between holding it together and absolutely not holding it together. And it is exhausting being this close. And here's what it feels like from the inside. Everything is irritating you. Not slightly, not in a manageable way. Everything. The noise, the people, the small talk. Someone breathed wrong, and you felt it in your whole body. Someone asked you a completely reasonable question, and you had to physically stop yourself from saying something you can't take back. Because the thing about being on the edge is that everything lands harder. Things that wouldn't normally touch you are getting in. A tone of voice, a look, someone being fine when you are absolutely not fine. It all lands and it all costs you something, and you are running out of whatever it is that was keeping you level. And you're trying. That's the bit that nobody sees. You're holding it, keeping the lid on it, smiling when you have to smile, answering when you have to answer, functioning when functioning is the last thing you have capacity for right now. And every single one of those moments takes something out of you that you don't have to give. So the gap between the outside version of you and what's actually happening inside is getting wider and wider. And the effort of maintaining that gap is enormous and invisible, and nobody is asking about it because from the outside you look fine. Probably. Mostly. But inside it's loud and it's tight, and it's been building for longer than today. Today is just the day it ran out of room. Today is the day you ended up here, right on the edge, one thing away from it all coming out. You know what nobody tells you about being this close to snapping? It's not dramatic. It doesn't look like anything from the outside. It looks like you, getting through the day, doing the thing, answering the emails, being a person. While inside something is pulled so tight it's almost making a sound. And the guilt of it, because you can see that the things irritating you aren't that bad. You know that. You're not oblivious. That person asking you a question wasn't trying to tip you over. The noise wasn't personal, but knowing that doesn't loosen the tightness. Not even slightly. You're still right there on the edge, knowing full well that your reaction is bigger than the thing that caused it and completely unable to scale it down. I know that specific exhaustion, the one that comes from holding it together so hard for so long that holding it together has become its own kind of breaking down. Last week, not ancient history. And that voice, the one that says you're overreacting, that says other people handle more than this without ending up on the edge, that says what is actually wrong with you. That voice is loud today, isn't it? Loud and unhelpful, and absolutely convinced it's being reasonable. You're not overreacting. You're just full. Completely, dangerously, one more thing away from it, full. And you've been full for a while now. Here's the thing. When you're this close to the edge, you stop being the version of yourself you actually like. You snapped at someone who didn't deserve it, not the person who deserved it, never that person. Someone smaller, safer, someone who just happened to be there when the lid finally slipped. And you saw their face and you knew. And you couldn't even properly explain it, because how do you explain that it wasn't about them? It was about everything. It was about the thing that's been building for weeks, and they just caught the overflow. You said something sharp, or you went completely silent. The dangerous kind of silent that anyone who knows you knows means something is wrong, but you cannot, right now, form the words to explain what. I mean, I've done both, sometimes in the same day. And then the guilt lands on top of everything else. So now you're on the edge, and you feel like a bad person, and that's just great. That's really helpful. Well done. You're scrolling aggressively, eating something you're not tasting, slamming things down just slightly harder than necessary, moving through your own life like everything in it is personally annoying you. Because right now it is. Because right now you are one thing away and everything knows it. And you're still holding it. Just about. Just barely. And here's where you are. Still on the edge. Still tight. Still one thing away from it all coming out at once. It hasn't resolved. You haven't calmed down. Nobody came and fixed the thing that's been building, and the lid is still right there, barely on, doing its best. Look, you made it through today. Not gracefully. Not without the sharp comment or the aggressive scrolling or the jaw that's been clenched since this morning. But through it. The mess is still here. The tightness is still here. You're still full in a way that one good night's sleep probably won't fix. But you're still standing on that edge, and you haven't fallen off it yet.